Hello viewers, this is Deep Duran 6881, back with my first video in over a year. Okay, so if you've seen my video on the top 10 worst Cartoon Network shows, you'll know that Regular Show was not included on that list. That's because I think it's good, and here's why. For one thing, the show is funny. There are a lot of moments that make me laugh. It's not as funny as the Looney Tunes or Droopy, but it's funny in its own way. Most of the time, they're just small things, like the way a character says something. There are also some adult jokes, which is probably why it's rated TV PG. But sometimes the writers try to make the characters funny, and they just come off as annoying. Like when Mordecai and Rigby go, "Oh!" But I've noticed that they don't do that as much as they used to, so maybe the writers got the message. And for the most part, the show is pretty funny. Another reason why I like this show is that it's original. I get so sick of watching the same show over and over. It seems like every new cartoon uses that same formula of having characters that are dumb, annoying, and gross. The Regular Show breaks this formula. The two main characters are lazy, especially Rigby, but they're not dumb. The stories are also very original and compelling. They usually don't make sense, but it doesn't make sense that a blue jay and a raccoon can talk, so I guess the writers figured, why not? It also seems to me that the writers are trying to send a message to their audience that they don't like the new video formats. In the episode, The Best VHS in the World, the guy in charge of the video store that Mordecai and Rigby go to says something like, "I'm glad you guys appreciate superior video formats." I don't remember exactly what he said, but anyway, there's also an episode called The Last Laserdisc Player that is entirely about how Laserdiscs never became popular because of VHS. I personally have a Laserdisc player and a couple of LDs, and I have to say, their sound is actually better than DVDs, and their picture is about the same, so maybe that's why they're trying to get him to maybe come back. But anyway, the stories in Regular Show are usually pretty good. Now let's talk about the negative things in the show. One problem I have with the Regular Show are some of the side characters, particularly Muscle Man. I don't really like him. He's annoying and he's just a jerk. But that's really just his character. You're not supposed to really like him. He's just sort of the jerk of the show. So I let that one slide. I also don't really like Pops. I mean, he's an okay character, but his voice is sort of annoying, and he usually isn't very funny. High Five Ghost isn't even in the show enough to have much of a character, so all I can say is that his voice is annoying too. Another problem I have is the relationship between Mordecai and Margaret. It moves way too slow and awkwardly. I guess that's how it was intended, but I don't care for it. This is definitely one of the weaker parts of the show. Other than those few problems, Regular Show proves to be a pretty good show. It's funny, original, and has interesting stories. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. It's worth watching. So that's really all I have to say. See you later.